What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Locked On Sharks, the premier hockey podcast covering your favorite team in the Bay Area. We are back. The Sharks are playing the Oilers tonight. If you listen to this on Thursday, we didn't want to preview the Oilers again. They just played them recently. They have McDavid and Draisaitl. They don't have any goalies. They don't have any defense. It is what it is. So we decided that since the trade deadline is passed, Tomas Hertl is staying in San Jose until the sun expands and consumes us all. We're going to do a little reset, a little team reset. Check out who the core is going forward, what we kind of expect heading into the end of the season and into the offseason, a little look ahead, a little peekaboo, and just kind of figure out where the Sharks are. Spoiler, they're not great.
You're Locked On Sharks, your daily podcast on the San Jose Sharks. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
I'm your host, Scott Demetrius. Back with me, as always, is co-host JD, the putting skin to the day-old pasta in the sink pot.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
One of those, pudding skin is so gross. Or Jello skin?
Yeah, and the pasta, especially if you don't have a dishwasher, your pot can't go in the dishwasher, and you got to try to scrub that.
That weird little bit of wet, watery pasta stuff in the bottom. It's so bad.
Yes.
I do think pudding skin is worse because you're actively putting that in your mouth sometimes. When was the last time you made homemade pudding? Because it's really easy.
It is, but I honestly...
Okay, here, better question. Are you a pudding guy?
I do like pudding, but I don't eat pudding very often. That's the problem.
You have small children, though.
I know, but neither of them like pudding, which is weird.
Are they Jello kids? No?
They're just don't
custard
eat things. Just
cream of wheat. They don't eat slippery, slimy foods. I love pudding.
Creamed corn only.
This creamed corn tastes like creamed crap. Good old sloppy Jimbos. I love pudding. Butterscotch is my favorite, followed by usually vanilla, then maybe chocolate. Mm-hmm. Also, sometimes they'll have banana cream.
The swirl. I like the chocolate vanilla one. Pistachio, if you're making it from home.
Ooh, good call. Are you a hard serve ice cream or a soft serve ice cream guy, or something weird like a sherbet?
No, hard serve. Yeah.
Oh, really? See, I much prefer soft serve. The soft serve twist with chocolate.
Yeah. I mean, no, I enjoy that too. But yeah, I'm not gonna say no. But if I had to choose the two, anyway. You know what else is definitely gonna be a hard serve here?
The Sharks going forward into
the Sharks cap
universe
situation.
Let's start the Sharks cap. So next year they have hold on here. I can read. They have 60. Nope. They have a projected cap hit of $70,110,000. The salary cap right now is 81.5. It might go up. Is this the year that it might go up a little bit, or is it next year?
I think this year's supposed to be flat again.
Okay, so 81.5. So they have projected cap space of 11.39. They only have 16 people on their roster.
No,
including 3 goalies. So one of those goalies will gone. We'll know one of those goalies.
Well, one of them is actually an RFA right now anyway, so his cap hit doesn't even count.
Oh, yeah. Shit. All right.
Yeah. So let's start with who will be on the roster.
Okay. So the core. You got Logan.
Yes.
You got Timo.
Yep.
You got Tomas Hertl.
Working to confirm.
I think those are the only 3 people on the forwards that you can safely and comfortably say are the core and will not be going anywhere.
Yeah.
Okay. Then in defense, you've got Erik Karlsson.
Yep.
Brent Burns.
Yep.
Like it or love it, Marc-Eduard Vlasic.
Maybe.
Maybe, but
yeah.
But yes, and Mario Ferraro.
who needs some money.
Right. And then on goal, we're not going to do goalies. We're not going to touch too much on goalies because it's all screwed up, and we talked a lot about it in the trade episode.
Yeah.
So the core is quite small. But going back to the forwards, the guys that need deals.
All right. The other guys who are on the roster right now. So Nick Bonino, $2 million cap hit. Rudolph Balcers, $1.5 million. Matt Nieto, $850,000. Scott Reedy, Lane Peterson, Jeffrey VL, and our good friend Kevin LeBanc, who's on IR right now, is making. I guess you could consider him part of the core. Maybe, I don't know. He's at 4.725. They've been trying to trade him for 2
years.
Yeah, so we'll see. Ever since, as soon as the ink was dry on that contract, they were trying to get rid of him.
So the only UFA among the forwards is Alexander Barabanov. We know his ask is that Robbie Fabry deal, but then there is 5 RFAs: John Leonard, Jonah Gadjevich, Sasha Shimilevsky, Noah Gregor, Jonathan Dahlin. Jonathan Dahlin is actually arbitration eligible. So is John Leonard. Leonard. And then in the minors, you've got nobody of consequence. All right. Not a lot of guys.
Are RFAs. Yeah. Who cares? Blickfeld, et cetera, et cetera. If you
Every single one of those guys made $1 million or less.
Yeah. You can bring them back if you want. If not, you have a
healthy
crop of guys coming into the Barracuda next year anyway. So
let's talk about these guys coming back. Barabanov, we think he's going to come back now, right?
I guess. I don't know where we're going to get this money from to pay.
Well, they didn't trade him, so
yeah,
I'm assuming Barabanov's going to be back.
Yes.
John Leonard?
Yeah, probably going to be back. You've invested too much. He'll probably, especially since he's cost controlled. So,
Jonah Gadjevich.
Maybe.
Right. Sasha Shimilevsky?
Maybe. We'll see how he does here in the last. I think this is his tryout here. So
he still is the youngest.
He still is pretty young.
He's 22.
Yeah, he's cost controlled too. So
Noah Gregor?
Yeah, I think so. The way Gregor's played himself into a new contract. So
and
I think he'll get I can see Gregor getting like $1 million kind of a deal bump. So
and then Jonathan Dahlin.
Oh yeah, Dahlin's gonna be back. You've put way too much effort into Dahlin.
Dahlin, Gregor, Barabanov, Leonard, we think are the 4 guys, and then Gadjevich and Shimilevsky are kind of on the outs.
Yep.
How do you feel about that going into next year?
It sounds a lot like the team we saw this year. That was basically 500 until Erik Karlsson got hurt. So, and then William Eklund, our sweet prince.
Well, yeah, he's not on the team yet. Do that at the end. Defense. Radim Šimik is still on this team. He makes $2.25 million for 2 more seasons after this one.
I would be surprised if he's back.
Yeah, Ryan.
Actually, before we get to the defense, though, let's take a quick break and talk.
God, you and your breaks.
Do you like getting paid for this?
Yes.
Yes. All right. So let's talk about our friends over at BetOnline.net. It's gambling season with college basketball's tournament here. So with all the latest odds, contests, and player props, BetOnline.net is your number one source for all your sports betting needs and info. BetOnline remains the best spot for your sports scores, podcasts, and news this season. And it's not just basketball. BetOnline is your continued source for all your favorite sporting events, such as the NHL, NBA, baseball starting, and then they've also got live betting in your favorite Vegas casino games. So head over to their website today or use your mobile device to learn more about the trends and actions. BetOnline, where the game starts. All right, so the defense. So
Šimik 2.25, Merkley 863,000. Ferraro's an RFA, Knizhov's an RFA. So a lot more certainty, just because Karlsson, Burns, Vlasic, Šimik are going to be hard to get rid of unless there's buyout scenarios. Do you think they're going to buy out Vlasic?
As of May 23rd, I think you're going to have to be honest, if you want to.
March 23rd,
whatever. Time is a flat circle. March 23rd, I think you're going to have to, especially because you think Ferraro is going to need a new deal. So, you could go from anywhere from a 4x4 to a, 6x5 or whatever. Like he's going to need a substantial pay raise. Barabanov needs a new deal. You're going to have to try to find money somewhere. I mean, even if you salary dump Šimik in the offseason, trade away a pick just to try to get, try to find a team who's struggling to get to the cap floor. Like you still got to try to shake some money out of the cushions. And I think as much as it would suck to kind of eat that the Vlasic buyout.
Okay, so I got the Vlasic buyout right here.
All right, so
he's on after this season. He's on the team for 4 more years.
Oh no!
So if you buy him out on June 15th, you get him for 8 years. Cap hits 3.6875. So you save 3 and a bit. Then 1.4375, so you save $5.5 million. Then 4.1875, so you save 2.8. Then 5.187, so you're only saving $1.8 in his last year of his deal. But then he's flat for the next 4 years of 1.6875. So you're adding like
$6 million
a Benino onto your team every year.
Yeah, it's
until
tough.
Hold on. Until 2029, 2030.
Yeah. Or you go through next year and then his no movement clause becomes a modified no trade clause, and then you ship him off to
Yeah, but what's the modification?
I don't know. It's probably 3 teams or whatever. So yeah.
It's tough. If you hold on to him for 1 more year.
Yep.
And we do 2023.
Can you just make him retire?
So if you do 2023, so next year he's on the team, you're saving 5.5, then 2.8, then 1.8, and then you only have 3 years of that 1.6 on thing. A lot more palatable. Now,
then you also have to think the Martin Jones buyout, which still runs through 26, 27. So
conversely, Radim Šimik.
Do you buy him out?
You buy him out. So you go, so he's got 2 more seasons, which means he's on the team until 25, 26 in the buyout. You save 1.05, then you save 1.35, and then you go -6, -6. I do not think Radim Šimik is worth buying out. It's not for his play, but just that's not a lot of saving.
No, and I think you could just salary dump him onto somebody else if you attach like a 3rd round pick or something like that. I know that 3rd round pick, but again, if you're trying to, we're trying to shake out all the money out of the cushions here. And so it could be a draft day deal thing. So where you just,
it's going to be hard, but somebody's got to take them, right?
Yeah. I mean, we've seen contracts go for,
even a second to get rid of it.
They don't have oof.
I don't know. Arizona, do us a solid.
Yeah, Arizona, find somebody who loves 2nd round picks like Arizona. So,
Jacob Megna is a UFA. I don't think they bring him back, and if they do, he'll be back to the CUDA to start. He's 29, turning 30. There's no point. And then Nicholas Milosh is a 24-year-old RFA
with arbitration right eligible. So
with arbitration rights, they may sign him.
Yeah, I think he's been a good soldier, et cetera, et cetera. So.
Yeah. So it's really sad looking at this, and Jacob Middleton's not on here.
I will remember.
The Sharks also have a 1st rounder this year, no second, a 3rd, a 4th, 2 5ths, one of those Buffalo, a 6th, 3 7th. Sharks, Coyotes, Wild. And then in 2023, they have all of their picks. So with that being said, where do you think the Sharks should be at the end of this year and then heading into next year?
So I think for now, I mean, it's definitely they need to play the kids, see who can be part of your core, who can kind of help, because that's where the Sharks are going to have to try if they are trying to make the playoffs and with all intentions signing the Hertl deal and kind of continuing to lock up these guys, and you're trying to make a playoffs with this core. You're going to have to find value in these young guys and who can help, who can help you win now and next year while being way undervalued contract wise. So your Leonards, your Gregors, your Sashas, these guys who you think might be able to contribute next year on a potentially winning team.
So
Giving them, yes.
They haven't contributed to a winning team in 2 seasons now.
Yes. So, I mean, but like you see, like Gregor has definitely grown from where he was 2 years ago. One of the few players.
But okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Let me reframe that. Yes, Gregor has grown, but he's not grown into the point where you're like, damn, he helps us win games at this point. He is grown into our team's pretty good. He helps us win games from like the fourth and the third line, whereas the Sharks need more than they've grown. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I think, too, another thing like is you need Kevin Labanc. I think Kevin Labanc is a big question mark where if you can't, I don't think you can really trade him right now for anything because especially with this lost year, but he needs to come back and be a top six guy that you've paid for, that you're paying him to be. And if he can kind of, revert back to that 50-point a season guy, then, you might have a chance.
Because then you're looking at like Barabanov, Hertl, Meier, somebody, Couture, Labanc.
Eklund,
No, I'm talking about right now.
Oh, right now, yeah.
Do we have any faith that Bob is going to play Eklund worthwhile minutes or in the top 6? No. I guess Rudy,
yeah.
Dahlin. No, Dahlin.
So,
but see, then again, like
Dahlin too is like he came out of the gates really, hot, but like he's definitely struggled, had some injury issues, and I don't think, especially how excited we were with him coming to start the season and where he's at right now. I would say, it's been a little bit of a disappointment just because that's to be expected too with a rookie where you're going to have these up and downs. But it seems like every time he starts to get on the track, he gets injured or COVID or he gets a puck in the face or something like that. So it's just, I think he needs to be this 20 to 25 goal scorer that you're expecting him to be. So it'd be nice when he gets back from his injury if he starts to string together a couple good weeks where, he's, he doesn't need to score a goal every night, but he's a major contributor. And you can see why he's going to be worth the Sharks hanging on to.
Yes. It's just not the most hopeful outlook.
No, I didn't.
Because like heading into next September, you've got to think they're really banking on Eklund coming in and being hot fire, because then you've got your Eklund, Hertl, Meier, Labanc, Couture, Barabanov type deal, and then you can have Dahlin and Rudy or Dahlin and Gregor on your third line, or one of those guys, Labanc on the third line to provide scoring, and Dahlin goes up, and have 3 scoring lines. But if Eklund isn't taking a little bit longer to get up to speed, then I think then you're back in this thing where after your top 2 lines, you're just flat.
Yeah.
And then the problem is like Nick Bonino's still on this team, and he is Father Time has punched him in the face.
Yeah. And that's where you're hoping maybe a guy like Reedy or Jasper, like going into next year, where they can maybe win that 3C position.
But is Bob going to give the 3C position over Nick Bonino? No, he's not. That's the problem. If they had a different coach or somebody who's like, this is an open competition, it's fine. But we've seen it time and time again. As soon as the going gets tough, he puts Matt Nieto on the top line. Yeah. It's like, well, why? And you know that Doug is going to sign some sort of veteran, a Cogliano type. Well,
Cogliano, come on back. They're going to just keep shipping him out for 5th round picks and then re-signing him every year.
That'd be sick.
The Patrick Marleau effect. But yeah, like there's just no, like, you're hoping Eklund can kind of bounce back. And then like if one of these young, like if Reedy or Weatherby or something like that can kind of help solidify your bottom 6. And then, like I think if that, and then you're like, okay, if you have like a John Leonard and then like a Dahlin or one of, or like a Balsers, if these guys are playing in your bottom 6, like, okay, that's fine. Like I think that's okay, but it's still going to come down to if the top guys can produce at star levels. And that's going to be the big question for the Sharks. And if Erik Karlsson continued to play like the Erik Karlsson we saw before he got injured, or are we going to just continually get these, streaks of Erik Karlsson playing really well and then followed by Erik Karlsson not playing well or he's injured, and then Brent Burns continues to slide off the map, and who knows with the goaltending like that we've even Because so we assume
Such a big question mark that there's literally no possible way. Because Reimer could hit the age cliff. They could also trade him away and go with Hill and Kahkonen. They could get rid of Hill.
Like, out of the 3 goaltenders, which one of you would you be most surprised that they traded away during this summer?
Good question. Hill.
Does it the 2nd round pick?
Yeah.
So, but like, it's. I mean, but it's not like Hill's really. He's been.
No, I think Hill's the one I would want to trade
out of the 3 of them. But like, yeah, he's less. And like Reimer. I don't like Kahkonen. I assume is probably going to be kind of in that same like 2-year, $2.5 million deal that the other guys have gotten, which is that's
honestly
that's
hopefully it's less.
Yeah, that's a fine. I'm just kind of in my head picturing like kind of scoring that away for them, but it's like like Reimer's played admirably this year, but like we've seen it all the times where just goalies all of a sudden it's just like they don't have
all of a sudden he's 30-something years old. Like
every time we talk, we just add another year. The man is 42 years old.
He's 34. He's turning 35. Like goalies break down. It's not.
He just turned 34, so he's got But like, we've seen this all the time where they just sometimes just, and especially, and it's not like Reimer's had easy minutes this year. He has played. It's when he's back there, man. He has been worked. I mean, we saw
he only makes $75,000 more than Adin Hill.
But we saw in the Flames game, the man looked like he's going to pass out at the end of that game there.
As of right now, let's end on this. As of right now, May 23rd, March 23rd,
April 23rd, May 20th, one day.
Whatever. What is your next season outlook right now?
They'll be more competitive, but they're still going to miss the playoffs. So they're going to climb. So right now I think they're going to be on the edge of a top 10 draft pick. And I could see them at like 14th or 15th in the draft pick, where it's like, I think if you get a healthy LeBanc, you get Eklund coming in, who's hot fire. Timo continues to play. Like Hertl's still going to be the same Hertl.
The big thing here is that Burns, Carlson, and Couture can't fall off.
They can't fall off, and we've already And Couture's played okay recently, but like Burns
he's my age. He's turning 33 this year. He's turned 33 in a month and a half.
Yeah. So I think more competitive, but not a playoff team. So
cool, neat. Exactly the spot you want to be in. The Minnesota Wild spot forever. The Indiana Pacers spot.
The Flyers of
Oh God. Well, you heard it here first. The creamy middle it is. If you would like to talk to us about the creamy middles, do with that what you will. You do that on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Locked On Sharks. Jesus. It's where we're posting our hot memes, like the Jacob Middleton mustache. I will remember you video. LockedOnSharks@gmail.com. YouTube, Locked On Sharks. Amazon, Spotify, Apple. You can listen to us. JD's at My Fry Hall.
Kyle is at Kyle Demetrius. Thank you for making us your first listen. Make sure that you go check out some of the amazing Locked On podcasts, such as the Locked On Fantasy Show, or the Locked On Nows, if you want to get a taste of what happened the night before in the NHL, or go check out one of the other amazing shows on the Locked On Network, such as
Locked On Reds.
Sure.
Get that Cincinnati content.
Kansas
City versus Cincinnati. 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 All time Simpsons joke.
Till next Sunday. Bye, friends.
Cincinnati.